We're not TIG welding this hot side together, we're MIG welding it. MIG welding this is hours and hours faster. The reliability is exactly the same. So let's get started. I have a bunch of tacks laid down. The metal is freezing cold. It is probably going to take a lot of time for this to get some heat in it. It's probably not the ideal weather for this. I mean, it is freezing. The temperatures are going to change drastically working on this. I'm very familiar with this welder. What I'm not very familiar with is this freezing cold environment on multiple different pieces of stainless steel and aluminized tubing. And we have multiple brands, multiple gauges. So give me a second here. Let me get a little brake clean and a clean rag. Even our shop towels have some type of contamination. In them when they wash them. Sometimes it smells like kerosene, sometimes I don't even know what it is. So my goal today is to get this welded together. And you guys can watch struggles here. I mean, it is legitimately freezing in here. And I want it to look somewhat decent when it's on the car. There's tons of skin on this. Trying not to handle it too much because it's only tacked together. Alright, so let's see what type of heat. We're going to see what type of heat the flex pipes can take since it's layered material. I'm going to start over here. Just want to get a good ground, so I'm going to tack it on the back side of this, which is a pain in the butt anyway. And this pipe will actually warm up. So that could take a little bit more heat if I wanted to put more heat in it. See how it goes. So we're going to go to the Philadelphia Auto Show later today. Our goal was to have our cars ready, but circumstances beyond my control with mechanical problems and parts and an engine builder that really just pissed me off this season. We didn't make it. So I'm going to start up in here. Now this material here is definitely way different material than this material, so let's see how this heat range and setting. See how this heat range and setting takes. And I'm not worried about how beautiful it is. I'm worried about leak free is what my goals are. That's taking the heat pretty well. If I TIG welded this together, it would take me days. If I sent this out to have a guy who TIGs for a living, it would probably cost me $800 to have this TIG welded together. And it ain't worth it. So I'm not looking for perfect, I'm looking for functionality. This will all be wrapped in thermal wrap when I'm done. Good. I'm definitely going to turn it down for the butt welds. So let's continue with the heavy welding, the heavy gauge welding with the flex pipes. I was going to do this during our slow time, but I was more aggravated, and then your staff kind of lollygags while you're not paying attention. So I said my business needs my attention. See where I had some burn through building it. And then I'm going to smoke test this when I'm done. Smoke testing it, you'll see smoke coming out of any leaks. See that? Burn through, that's what you don't want. Probably back heat down or move faster. That was my mistake there. Let's see if we can't get a little filler in. So this material here can't take the heat. And that's what's nice about a TIG and a pedal. You can change your voltage, change the heat on it. So now as the material's getting heat in it, the more heat you put on it, the worse it gets. So I just dialed it back to a C setting, and let's see how it takes it with a C setting. Now the pipe has heat in it. So C seems to be doing really well with heat in the pipe. So let's finish off the flexes before I go and try and figure out what this metal really likes on a different setting. Baby. Take that. And I think for a lot of novice welders is that where they fall short is they don't know the equipment, they don't know the materials. Like I don't know the materials because I don't use this material all the time, but I can figure it out. Like the trouble I was getting into over here. She's so hot. She's so hot. Manhandle that. If the lift wasn't so disgusting, typically what I do is I would use the lift for the ground table. That's ugly, but I'll have to fix that. That's the way it goes. Just the way it is. Can you imagine doing this with having to answer 1,000 questions all day long? The pipe is getting some heat in it, it's changing again. there's a cross between penetration and now I'm down to heat setting. I went from started with D because it was so cold to C, now to B. And it could be the material quality too, and I don't have enough familiarity with it. And I'll tell you, sometimes my welders aren't stable, believe that or not. I'm sure there's other welders that will say the same thing as like, they're like, yeah, today this thing's running it. That's burning pretty good. That's burning in good. I'm trying not to get burnt and do this. I don't like to wear gloves. Show you my settings on this. Okay, so we're 7 wire speed. I could probably take the wire speed down a smidgen, and then we're on B. And I started out on D9, and then you can see how I had to pull wire and heat out of this to satisfy the materials. Welding isn't easy, people. And then I'll go back and I'll grind and clean up some of this stuff. I'm not really too concerned about it. I'm not really too concerned about how it looks. Just welding upside down was a stupid mistake by me, but I'll grind some of that stuff down. All right, let's move on to another difficult spot. I'm hoping that isn't as difficult as it has been. So we're going to work in this area now. I'm not sure. So we have 2 different materials. We're going to see what she takes. I might have to pulse it. I might not be able to. The wires be down a little bit. As the pipe warmed up, the weld actually started to look better. Turn it up a hair and run it. Flatten her out. She's not happy no matter what I do there. Go back to G. Let's see. Find my setting here. Nope, that's what I do. Okay, it's going to be a long process here. Now, as the material is getting heat, it's actually starting to roll better. Go figure. Yeah, you can hear the contamination too. This cheaper stuff is gonna, not cheaper, thinner quality material that's gonna let me run a bead on it. It doesn't look that way. Now it's too much wider. So that's it. Now you see why I choose to come in here and weld stuff like this together without having to be washing 8,000 times a day. Almost like you could go down another heat setting, but I don't want to do that. Yeah. Let's keep going. got the perfect amount of temperature in the pipe and the hands is what I'm dealing with. Stuff a magnet there, ain't, huh? Now we're going to act up. Woo. Man, the wind is kicking up. Why are we acting up? Everybody looks good. Hopefully this stuff doesn't do too much, but the flexibility will definitely help with some fitment issues if we get it. The struggle is real. Definitely gonna have to change my tip here. Whole weld now. That, but that's the way it goes. Oh, I didn't know you guys were all crooked. It's going to be a long video. I'm going to change this tip, and then I'm going to sign off so I can rock and roll. Rock and roll. Typically I can murder these tips before I have issues, but around all this stuff, why is this being such a pain in the neck today? Something's up. everything I open is made in China. Let's see how these perform. Completely different. So this 023 and then this 023, see the different, I prefer these ones, but sometimes we get what we get and we get what we get. Let's see, believe it or not, that really changes how the welder really performs too. So let's see. See, in a shop like ours, where the welders are community, you never know what conditions you're going to get when you pick up our welders here because of all the abuse that everyone puts them under. So let's see how this tapes on the V-band right here. It's crazy. Let me just show you the difference between a new MIG tip and different material. That's, you just watch me change the MIG, the tip inside, and then look at all the issues I was having in other areas. Well, I can weld, trust me. Is the material going to cooperate? That's the question. Is the equipment going to cooperate? Sometimes I have no idea. All right, thanks for watching.